The story goes that there was a man named Geng Shiba from Xinjiang who was critically ill and knew he wouldn't live much longer. On his deathbed, he said to his wife, "We will soon part forever, and after I die, whether you choose to remarry or remain widowed is up to you. Please let me know your decision." His wife remained silent upon hearing this. Geng Shiba insisted on hearing her response and said, "Being a widow is certainly an option, and remarrying is also a natural inclination. Since I am still alive, there's no harm in discussing this matter openly. After parting with you, if you choose to remain widowed, I will find solace in that. If you decide to remarry, I won't be troubled anymore, and this matter will be resolved." His wife sadly replied, "Our family is so poor that we can't even afford a meal while you're alive. After you die, how can I think about remaining a widow?" Upon hearing this, Geng Shiba angrily grabbed his wife's arm and said, "Your heart is truly ruthless." He then breathed his last breath, but his hand remained gripping his wife's arm tightly, causing her to scream in panic. Family members rushed in and had to use considerable force to pry Geng Shiba's hand from his wife's arm. Unaware that he had already passed away, Geng Shiba walked out of the house. Outside, he saw a dozen or so small carriages, each carrying 10 people, with their names written on slips of paper attached to the carriages. A carriage guard saw Geng Shiba and urged him to get on quickly. Geng Shiba got on and saw that there were already 9 people on the carriage, including himself, making a total of 10. He noticed that his name was written at the very end of the list. The carriage creaked and made a piercing sound. Geng Shiba had no idea where he was being taken. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at a place where he heard someone say, "This is the land of nostalgia." Hearing this name left Geng Shiba puzzled. He overheard the carriage guards whispering to each other, "We've beheaded 3 people today." This made Geng Shiba even more terrified. As he listened more closely, he heard them discussing matters related to the underworld. It was at this point that he realized his situation and murmured to himself, "Have I become a ghost?" He immediately thought about his family and found that there was nothing worth worrying about except for his elderly mother, who was left alone with no one to care for her once his wife remarried. This thought brought tears to his eyes. As he continued walking, he suddenly saw a towering platform ahead with many people. They were disheveled, wearing shackles, and crying out as they climbed up and down the platform. Geng Shiba was told that this was the homesickness platform. Upon arriving, everyone rushed to climb onto the platform. The carriage guards used whips to beat them back, but when it was Geng Shiba's turn, they urged him to climb up and take a look. Geng Shiba ascended dozens of steps in one breath, finally reaching the top of the platform. When he looked up, he saw his own courtyard and house as if they were right before his eyes. However, the interior was unclear, obscured by a haze. Overwhelmed by emotion, Geng Shiba felt a surge of sadness and discomfort that he couldn't control. When he turned around, he saw a man dressed in shirt clothing standing beside him, asking for his name. Geng Shiba truthfully told him. The man introduced himself as a craftsman from the East Sea. Seeing Geng Shiba's despondent state, he asked, "Is there something on your mind that you can't let go of?" Geng Shiba then recounted the events to him. The craftsman and Geng Shiba discussed their plan to escape by jumping from the platform. Geng Shiba was fearful, worrying that little ghosts might chase him. The craftsman assured him that there was nothing to worry about. Geng Shiba was also concerned about tripping when jumping, so the craftsman instructed him to mimic his movements. The craftsman jumped first, and Geng Shiba followed suit, landing safely without harm. They were relieved that no one had noticed. Seeing the carriages they had arrived in still parked below, they quickly fled. After running a few steps, Geng Shiba suddenly realized that his name was still posted on the carriage, and worried that someone might recognize him and bring him back. He rushed back to the carriage, used his saliva to erase his name from the slip of paper, and then resumed running. Both men were out of breath from their sprint and didn't dare to rest. Before long, they arrived back at Geng Shiba's home. The craftsman guided Geng Shiba inside, where Geng Shiba suddenly saw his own lifeless body. He quickly came to his senses, feeling utterly exhausted, his mouth dry and tongue parched. He urgently called for water. His family was taken aback and quickly brought him water. Geng Shiba drank a whole bucket of water in one gulp. Then he suddenly stood up, bowed in a gesture of respect, and then bowed again outside the door before lying straight on the bed without moving. His family was bewildered by his strange behavior and suspected he might not be truly alive. However, after closer observation, they found nothing unusual about him. Upon inquiring further, he clearly recounted the whole experience. When asked what he went out for, he replied, to bid farewell to the craftsman. They asked him why he drank so much water, and he said, I drank some, and then the craftsman drank some. His family fed him soup and rice, and in just a few days, he regained his health. After this incident, Geng Shiba was disgusted by and looked down upon his wife. He never shared the marital bed with her again, as he still harbored resentment due to her truthful words, resulting in their estranged relationship.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.